All right, so get this. We're diving into the Chupa Chupa lights of Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
You sent me some really fascinating material on this, and let me tell you, it's not your typical UFO story.
Yeah, what's so captivating about this case is how deep the rabbit hole goes,
Yeah.
so to speak. I mean, we're not just talking about some blurry photos and campfire tales, right? You've
Right.
got official military investigations. We have detailed eyewitness reports and even alleged physical effects on people.
Okay, so let's unpack this name, Chupa Chupa. It literally translates to suck suck,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
So what's the story there?
Well, the name comes from this belief that these lights, or whatever they are, were somehow extracting something from their victims.
Oh, wow.
Blood energy, who knows?
Yeah.
But it speaks to like a deeper fear, something beyond just a visual spectacle.
And you mentioned this isn't just a Brazilian thing, right? You've got similar reports from other parts of the world.
Absolutely. You've got the incidents in Sosnovka, Russia, back in the late 80s, and it's very similar reports, strange lights exhibiting what some might call intelligent behavior, people experiencing burns and debilitating weakness afterward. And then there's the Cash Landrum case in Texas in 1980, where a family claimed to have been pursued and even harmed by a luminous object,
Wow.
resulting in similar symptoms.
Okay, hold on. So we've got burns, weakness, a sense of being targeted. Are we seeing a pattern here? What's fascinating is that you've brought together these seemingly isolated incidents, and now we're seeing this potential connection.
It certainly raises the question, but let's get to the heart of your deep dive, right? Brazil in the 1970s.
Right.
You zeroed in on this period of intense Chupa Chupa activity in the northern part of the country, which sparked a full-blown military investigation known as Operation Prato.
Operation Prato. This is where things get really interesting for me. So tell me more about this investigation. What kind of evidence did they gather?
Well, from what you've provided, it seems the Brazilian Air Force took this very seriously. They meticulously documented everything, photographs, videos, detailed reports from witnesses, even medical examinations.
Wow.
Much of this was kept classified for years and only came to light in the 2000s.
Really?
It's like opening a time capsule from a period when the government was actively trying to understand this phenomenon.
Wow. So we're not dealing with some fringe theory here.
Yeah.
This is a documented military investigation with tangible evidence. And at the center of it all is Captain Yoranje Holanda, the officer in charge of Operation Prato.
Yeah, Holanda's story is crucial to this whole saga. He later claimed to have witnessed UFOs exhibiting seemingly intelligent behavior during the operation.
Okay, so imagine that a military officer on record talking about UFOs maneuvering in ways that defy conventional explanation.
Exactly.
But give me some specifics. What kind of intelligent behavior are we talking about? Was it like a close encounter or more like observing patterns in their movements?
Well, you pointed out one account where Holanda described observing a disco-like object emitting this intense light. What's chilling is that, according to him, this object seemed aware of their observation,
Oh, wow.
as if it knew it was being watched.
That sends shivers down my spine. It's one thing to see strange lights, but to feel like you're being observed by something unknown. That's a whole other level of unsettling. What about the local people? What were their experiences like during this time?
Imagine living in a place where venturing out at night meant potentially encountering these lights.
Right.
You included Dona Raimunda's account, and it's a truly harrowing story.
Yeah.
She described a light entering her home, causing intense pain, weakness, numbness, and even leaving puncture marks on her skin.
Puncture marks. So this isn't just seeing lights. This is physical interaction. No wonder people were terrified.
Absolutely. The fear was palpable. People were staying indoors, covering their windows, desperate to avoid these lights. There were even reports of fishing boats being chased by the lights, moving with incredible speed and precision, always seeming to evade any attempts to escape.
It's like something out of a sci-fi thriller.
Yeah.
But this was real life for these people. And then there's the tragic fate of Captain Holanda himself. He was found dead in 1997, officially ruled a suicide.
And here's where the intrigue deepens. His death occurred mere months after he gave that revealing interview about Operation Prato and his own UFO encounters.
Wow, the timing is certainly suspicious. Was he silenced for speaking out?
While speculation abounds, it's important to acknowledge that there's no official evidence to support such claims.
Right.
However, the timing does raise eyebrows and fuels the many conspiracy theories surrounding this case.
Okay, so we've got this bizarre phenomenon documented by the military, led by an officer who later dies under questionable circumstances after going public with his experiences. This is getting pretty intense. What do you make of all this?
Well, we're piecing together a puzzle with some very strange pieces.
Yeah.
What I find particularly compelling is the consistency between the Brazilian case and the other incidents you've presented.
Right.
If these lights, as some believe, exhibit intelligence, the implications are staggering.
Right. If they're not just some random occurrences, then what are their intentions? Are we being studied?
Those are precisely the questions we need to grapple with. And that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating. And it's a question that has haunted humanity for centuries. Are we alone in the universe?
Right.
And if not, what is the nature of those who share it with us?
Right.
The Chupa Chupa lights, if we even entertain the possibility of their intelligence, force us to confront those very questions.
It's mind-boggling to think that these lights could be a manifestation of something beyond our comprehension, something that operates on principles we haven't even begun to grasp.
You've included some thought-provoking articles that delve into different interpretations of these events. Some researchers suggest these lights could be some form of extraterrestrial probe gathering data, studying our planet and its inhabitants.
Like some sort of cosmic anthropologist observing us from a distance, trying to understand our behavior, our culture, our very essence.
Precisely. Others propose a more esoteric interpretation, suggesting these lights could be interdimensional entities tapping into different realms of existence, perhaps even interacting with our consciousness in ways we can't fully perceive.
Okay, now we're venturing into some truly mind-bending territory. Interdimensional beings, consciousness manipulation. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
But that's the thing about these mysteries, isn't it? They blur the lines between science and fiction, forcing us to expand our understanding of what's possible.
So if we entertain these possibilities even for a moment, what does it tell us about our place in the universe? Are we just insignificant specks in a vast cosmic ocean? Or is there something more to our existence?
That's the ultimate question, and it's one that each of us must grapple with individually. The Chupa Chupa lights and other unexplained phenomena like them challenge us to reconsider our assumptions, to acknowledge the limits of our current knowledge.
It's humbling, to say the least. It's a reminder that for all our scientific advancements, for all our technological prowess, we're still scratching the surface of what's out there.
And perhaps that's the beauty of it. The unknown is what drives us to explore, to question, to seek answers. It's the fuel that propels our curiosity and pushes the boundaries of human understanding.
You're right. There's a certain thrill in embracing the mystery, in acknowledging that there are things we don't yet comprehend. It opens up a world of possibilities.
Exactly. And it underscores the importance of keeping an open mind. We shouldn't dismiss things simply because they seem strange or impossible. The history of science is full of examples of things that were once considered outlandish but later proven to be true.
Right, like the idea of a spherical Earth or the existence of germs. What was once ridiculed is now accepted fact. So how do we approach these mysteries responsibly? How do we separate genuine inquiry from wild speculation?
It's a delicate balance. We need to embrace critical thinking to be discerning in our evaluation of evidence. You've included some scientific papers that attempt to explain these phenomena through conventional means. They explore things like ball lightning, unusual atmospheric conditions, even the possibility of misidentified aircraft.
So there are attempts to ground these seemingly supernatural events in scientific reality. But do these explanations hold up? Do they account for the full range of reported experiences?
That's the challenge. While some cases can be explained away, others remain stubbornly resistant to conventional interpretation. And it's those cases, the ones that defy easy categorization, that truly capture our imaginations.
The ones that keep us coming back for more, that fuel our fascination with the unknown. But let's be honest, not everyone is open to these possibilities. Some people might dismiss this entire conversation as nonsense, as the ravings of conspiracy theorists.
And that's perfectly understandable. Not everyone is comfortable with ambiguity, with the idea that there might be things beyond our control, beyond our understanding. But for those who are open to exploring the edges of reality, the Chupa Chupa lights offer a tantalizing glimpse into the vastness of the unknown.
So where does this leave us? We've explored the history, the eyewitness accounts, the potential explanations, both scientific and speculative. But what's the takeaway for someone who's just been introduced to this mystery?
I think the most important thing is to simply be aware of the possibilities, to acknowledge that there are things we don't yet understand, and to approach these mysteries with a sense of curiosity and open-mindedness.
To not be afraid to ask questions, to challenge assumptions, to seek out new perspectives.
Exactly, and to remember that the journey of discovery is often more rewarding than the destination itself.
So to our listeners, we encourage you to delve into the materials you've provided. Explore the accounts, the research, the different interpretations, and perhaps as you ponder the mystery of the Chupa Chupa lights, you'll begin to question not just what's out there, but what's possible. It's funny how we started talking about these strange lights, and now we're talking about like the nature of reality and our place in the cosmos.
Yeah.
It's amazing how these mysteries lead to these big questions.
Yeah, that's the power of the unknown. It forces us to confront the limits of our understanding and grapple with concepts that challenge our preconceived notions.
And speaking of challenging notions, one thing that keeps coming up in these accounts is this idea of intelligent lights. So what exactly does that mean?
Right.
How do we differentiate between something that's just an unusual phenomenon and
Yeah.
something that might actually be thinking?
That's a good point. Discerning intelligence, especially in something so foreign to us,
Right.
is incredibly difficult. It requires us to look beyond our own biases
Yeah.
and consider alternative forms of intelligence, ways of processing information and interacting with the world that might be completely alien to us.
So we can't just assume that intelligence means little green men piloting spaceships.
Right.
It could be something totally different operating on principles we haven't even thought of.
Exactly. Think about the complexity of an ant colony or the communication network of a fungal network.
Mm-hmm.
We often overlook the intelligence of these non-human systems because they don't conform to our definition of what intelligence should look like.
That's an interesting point. It makes you realize how much we have to learn about the diversity of life, even here on our own planet.
Mm-hmm.
So when we apply that same open-mindedness to the Chupa Chupa lights, what are some possibilities? What could these lights be if we entertain the idea that they're intelligent?
The possibilities are pretty mind-boggling. Some researchers speculate that these lights could be a form of bioluminescent extraterrestrial life, perhaps even a type of atmospheric predator,
Wow.
feeding off of energy sources we don't
An
understand.
energy predator in the sky.
Yeah.
That's both fascinating and terrifying.
Yeah.
It definitely adds a new dimension to the Chupa Chupa name.
It does, and it speaks to the potential dangers of encountering something so far beyond our understanding. We often approach these mysteries with a sense of wonder and curiosity, but we also need to acknowledge the potential risks.
Right. It's important to remember that we're venturing into uncharted territory here.
Yeah.
But the potential rewards of discovery are huge.
Yeah.
Imagine the scientific breakthroughs, the philosophical insights,
Yeah.
the technological advancements that could come from a deeper understanding of these phenomena.
It's a tantalizing prospect, and it underscores the importance of continued research and investigation. We need to approach these mysteries with skepticism, but also with open-mindedness,
Yeah.
using the tools of science and critical thinking to try to illuminate these dark corners of our understanding.
So what's the next step? What can our listeners do if they want to explore this topic further?
Well, I encourage them to keep digging into the material you've provided. There are tons of rabbit holes to explore, each one offering a different perspective on this whole enigma. They can delve deeper into the scientific research, the eyewitness accounts, the cultural and historical context of these events.
And they can join the conversation, right? There are online forums, research groups, and even citizen science projects dedicated to investigating these phenomena.
Exactly. Sharing information, collaborating with others, and keeping an open mind are essential to advancing our understanding of these mysteries.
So to our listeners, we'll leave you with this final thought. The universe is vast and full of wonders.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to explore the unknown question, what we think we know, and embrace the mysteries that challenge how we understand reality. Because in the pursuit of the unknown, we may discover not only the answers we seek, but a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the cosmos.